A warm welcome to the History Show once again on Uxbridge FM, and Ken Pearce is joining us again for one of his talks. This one's entitled An Uxbridge Midwife. When you're ready, Ken.
Thank you. In June 1968, Louisa Hawes, Hawes, celebrated her 100th birthday and was able to tell the local paper about her early life. She recalled her childhood when the town came alive every Thursday because it was market day. Corn was brought in and sold in the market house, farm animals were up for sale, and stalls were set up all along the high street for the sale of other farm produce. Louisa left school at the age of 12 and went to work as a caretaker at the town hall. Now, that was not a public building. It actually belonged to a local builder called William Fasnage. The Morel Lounge now occupies the site where that building stood. It was let for concerts and meetings, and Louisa became caretaker there. The magistrate's court was also held there, and she had to get the room ready each week for the court to take place. You see, it wasn't until 1907 that a proper courthouse was built in Heffield Road. After her marriage, Louisa became a nurse and midwife. But she hadn't been on a training course. There weren't any in those days. They didn't exist. Louisa had learned all her skill and expertise from her mother, who was also a nurse and midwife, and that knowledge was handed down in the family. Louisa was clearly good at her job, and in her interview on her 100th birthday, she estimated that she had brought over 300 children into the world. And her clients, of course, were usually quite well off. The mothers in poor families managed somehow without assistance. And incidentally, Louisa in turn passed her knowledge of midwifery onto her own daughter. She recalled that on one occasion, a doctor was also present at her birth, but he had such confidence in her abilities that he lay down and fell asleep. On another occasion, she was firmly reprimanded by a church-going lady for going to a public house on a Sunday. She had gone there, of course, to deliver a baby. She attended Providence Church, where she was a member of the Dorcas Society, a group of ladies who made clothes for the poor families of the town. In the Bible, a lady of that name did the same for the poor of her day and age. The childhood memories of Mrs. Hawes included 2 items of food that were popular with all Uxbridge people. And I've heard this quoted on many occasions. She loved the real ice cream that was made by George Sherwin, a dairyman who had a shop in the High Street. And she adored the pork sausages that came from Nichols the Butcher's in New Windsor Street.
A very balanced diet, it sounds like to me. Ice cream and pork sausages.
Yes.
But no training as a midwife. That sounds quite astonishing today, doesn't it?
Well, that's right. Yes. But knowledge was passed on, and it seems to have been successful.
Yeah. Nowadays, you probably do a 3-year degree course or more, I guess.